Hey guys, Omni here. We are back for episode 8 of Superman and Lois. Last week's episode, we had some interesting reveals. We got more of a background on Captain Luthor, otherwise known as the Stranger. Turns out, he's not a Luthor at all. He's John Henry Irons, aka Steel, coming in with his hammer, the origin of the suit. We get a glimpse of him and Lois's daughter from the other Earth, as well as kind of like the initial uprising of Superman, accompanied by other Kryptonian-like beings, which kind of the conversations he has with Lois and with Clark in this episode kind of hint that these beings that accompany him in his world were made via X-Kryptonite. They weren't original Kryptonians. They weren't other survivors that just kind of culminated together, that either Cal or Morgan Edge on that Earth has been building up an army to help the Kryptonians kind of take over, or vice versa. Something's going on there, and I'm wondering if it parallels, how much it parallels with what's going on our Earth with our Morgan Edge. The reveal of who that was just, I did not see it coming. I was wholeheartedly on board with him being a multiversal Lex, explaining the aesthetic differences, the differences in their timeline, the differences in all that. I was like, we've seen it before. It's not the only time that various characters look different on other Earths. Obviously, biggest example is Brandon Routh's Superman being Clark Kent, and Superman clearly is not just Tyler Hoechlin on another Earth. There are precedents set where Barry Allen's, Clark Kent's on other Earths just don't look like these actors. And I was like, okay, well, this time around it's just a little more drastic, but nope. John Henry Irons, when he pulled in the hammer, oh my God, I was like, holy shit. It was so good. I didn't see that coming. I won't even pretend to act like I saw that coming. Definitely didn't. So definitely with him being captured at the end of the episode, I'm curious to see how that progresses, how they approach his, how do they interrogate him? They definitely seem to be setting that up, and I'm curious to see what we learn and what he kind of reveals, if anything at all. The rest of the episode really just kind of focused on Lois, again, trying to piece things together. It was very Lois and Clark kind of episode where they were investigating this whole situation together, which was fun. On the flip side of that, we have Jordan trying to learn to control his out of control hearing, and that kind of ended up playing into how the day gets saved at the end by the boys, Lois, all showing up at the end to save Clark from John Henry Irons. So that was a whole culmination that I really enjoyed. Last episode was, it was just so good, man. I didn't, it got me with everything there. The action, the reveals, the twists, the performances. I think it executed it all on every level. So guys, I'm ready to dive into this week's episode. Remember, the full length unedited reaction watch-alongs are available over on Patreon, or if you become a member here on the channel, gets you access to those as well. That all being said, let's go ahead and dive into episode 8. Here we go.
Good morning, Lois.
How do you know my name?
You are one of my authorized users. How can I help you, Miss Lane?
What can you tell me about John Henry Irons? Careful.
What is that? That was easy.
Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
John Irons died 6 years ago under mysterious circumstances. How did you get here?
Holy shit.
Almost there. Almost there. Hang on.
Almost where? I want to see it.
All you need to
God
know
damn it.
is I'm the one who's gonna end you. Because you think I'll turn on humanity.
What happened on my world is already happening on this one. The Kryptonians are here, and you joining them is the last I'll know to fall before it all goes to hell. I'm not saying another word until you bring me Lois Lane.
So John Henry's from another Earth.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing. Multiverse and parallel universes, each with its own Earth.
So on his Earth, are there other versions of people from here?
Yeah, sometimes.
There we go.
Like you?
Why do you want to see Lois Lane?
Answer the question. Not until I talk to her. She was the love of my life. My wife. Until you murdered her. And I won't let you do it again.
I don't really look back. I was enraged. You have no idea the things that I said.
I read your articles, your critiques.
I can go full scorched earth, and if that is my intention, you deserve it. But this person didn't. And I don't know how to fix this.
She like have an episode and go off on Clark, pushing him down the dark path.
Lois, look at these articles. I mean, other than the suit, this guy was just like me. Right up until he started killing innocent people.
Clark, it doesn't matter. That's not you. Maybe I should go talk to him.
No, not yet. I understand where he's coming from now. I think maybe I can get through to him.
I hope so.
Sorry, I didn't get to meet you, Sid.
Oh,
You seem really cool.
And we must defeat them if we are to save humanity. For that is what separates us from them. Our humanity.
You are not authorized. In T-minus 20 seconds, you will be eliminated. 20, 19. One.
Are you out of your mind? You don't go snooping around some guy from another world's murder van.
I thought it was safe.
fuck, man.
As it seems with this.
That had me sweating.
I would go back in there with you. What were you thinking?
I just thought I'd look around
Without me?
about what we saw in there. And then that crazy hammer thing that he made. I thought that maybe I could go in there and I could look for
Whoa, hang on. You were looking for weapons?
you and Jordan basically are weapons. I am the only one in this house that is completely unarmed.
Jonathan, your mother and I will protect you.
I was 1 second away from being dead. And Mom couldn't do anything. And you almost didn't even make it in time.
Jonathan, look at me. Look at me! I let you come with me because I trusted you. I trusted that you were responsible enough to know what's at stake, to know how dangerous.
Calm down.
You knew there was a risk. I know you did, and yet you went in anyway.
Is this who she went scorched earth on?
Find weapons? You almost died. Not because you were unarmed, because you were reckless and stupid. And if you had died, the only person that would have been to blame is yourself. Get out of my face!
Okay.
That was...
I'm gonna mark that as a no.
He could have been killed.
That was...
No, and it was scary.
That was too far.
Do you want to talk about what you saw in the RV earlier?
I said, I'm fine, Clark.
Okay. Look,
Why we're so disappointed you turned down our offer.
beg your pardon?
Oh,
Mr. Edge is
fuck.
quite interested in you. I know he hopes you'll reconsider.
I appreciate that.
I don't know. $150,000? That's a lot of money.
There's no position for you, Kyle.
That's not what Laura said.
She doesn't know everything.
on Lana. She's his right hand.
I mean, he respects you and everything you've done for him, which is why he didn't say anything to her.
I should probably go back to work.
I can't wait till he finds out Edge is a piece of shit.
Sounds like you felt helpless, powerless.
Not like I have in a long time.
Probably not since your miscarriage. And as I recall, you already had a name picked out.
We were gonna name her after my grandmother, Natalie.
Lieutenant Trask, your problems are over.
Whoa, 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 whoa! What the fuck?
Now your problems are just getting started.
Ugh.
Look, I get how important it is to grieve the loss.
All right.
Why did you yell at Jonathan?
He put himself in danger.
That's why you lost control.
What else do you want me to say? That he was only there because of me? He had gotten hurt or worse. It would have been because of me. I can't lose another child because of me.
Lois, we respond to grief in many ways. Your miscarriage wasn't because of something you did or didn't do. It was something that happened to you. You have to allow yourself to go through the grieving process.
You realize that you're pretty much the only person I have here, right? John, what happened? I don't even know where to begin. Whatever happened, we're in this together, all right?
It's Trask. He's dead, sir.
Get me eyes on Rossetti.
I'll find him.
Wait. Sector 5, you can't go.
That's where you're keeping your stockpile of kryptonite.
Fragment grenades, bladed weapons, aerosol sprays, biochemical gas. You go down there, there's a chance you don't come back alive.
Fuck. Ugh.
Talk to me, General. I'm lying down here.
Feed's still out, but you can't.
Is it all lead?
Number 77.
Where's Irons? Whatever he's got planned, I can help you.
The only person who needs help is you.
God damn. God damn, Clark.
You're lucky. I have a mission to complete.
Ooh.
Out of all the weapons I used to kill Kryptonians, this was my favorite.
Stop!
Hold your fire!
Suit yourself.
John, I know about Natalie.
You don't know what's coming.
John, our worlds are different. Our Superman is good.
How can you know that?
I know. And if you kill him, an innocent man, a hero, what does that make you?
Damn.
Talk about Rossetti.
Never showed a hint of superhuman ability.
And what if it wasn't him? When Derek Powell killed himself, he implied that he was someone else.
Meaning what exactly?
I don't know. Lois has a theory. She thinks that Morgan Edge has found a way to transfer alien sentience into human hosts.
Are you telling me John Irons might be right?
It's very possible that Morgan Edge is building an army.
Congratulations. Mr. Edge has singled out everyone here for their...
When you and your brother were about 18 months old, I got pregnant. I ended up losing the baby, so it's really not something
I talk about just being reminded of the child that I lost and then almost losing you. I lost it, and I'm so sorry, and I love you so much, and I hope you forgive me.
No, it's okay. I understand. I just wanted out.
John, if there's anyone in this family who gets what you're going through, it's me. I know what it's like to be in the orbit of someone who can juggle semi-trucks. And you want to help out, and you want to save the world, and all you can do is just stand there, holding the wrench. We are the extraordinary humans in a family of super people. And we have to stick together.
God, there's some goddamn good performances in this episode, man. Bitsy Tolluch is fucking slaying this episode.
If there really is a war coming, we're gonna need all the help we can get. This is a show of trust.
I'll let you live. Doesn't mean I'm ready to fight by your side.
I understand. If you change your mind, you know how to find me. Miss Lane?
Circles right back. All right, is he actually going to like chill?
Erase the profile for Captain Luther. Start a new one for me. John Henry Irons.
Certainly.
This world needs a steel, man. Come on.
Shall I set a course for a new destination?
How about you shut down? Think I'll just drive for a while.
As you wish, John.
Damn. I can't wait to see how that comes back around. I want to see him back with a new suit, his hammer, and all that jazz. Dude, can we talk about these performances from Elizabeth Tolluch, man? That was powerful. Those were strong, emotional scenes. Like, not just the ones where she first off kind of explodes on Jonathan, but just when she's unloading on that therapist, and then later with Jonathan and her at the end. Those were, like, I felt like she meant all of that. Like, that was, I think it's fair to say, just off of that she gave probably the most believable and beautiful performance in any of these shows, man. Easy. Like, just in those couple of scenes. And that's the whole Arrowverse included. That's everything on the CW that I've seen personally. I think, Jesus Christ, that was so good. I really like this episode, like the interrogation, the unfolding, the investigations into Henry Irons, the other life, Jonathan learning about the other life, that parallels to what happened over there, and then how it all connects with Lois, with the miscarriage, which is the first we're hearing about it too. Along with Jonathan, that's the first we've heard about it. So apparently that happened in a pregnancy after them, because it almost kind of made it seem like it might have been their first attempt to have kids, but I guess not. So that was it in and of itself, like its own, like, weight dropped on all of us. And then the fight with Rossetti, I think was his name, in the base, him ending up being one of Edge's Kryptonians, and just the way he kind of took charge when he was leading Superman and Luther away or whatever, and then him taking it to 7734 and then using their kryptonite weapons to try to take out Superman. And dude, he tanked through that kryptonite, dude. That was nuts. That like, he was inhaling that shit. There was so much of that kryptonite in that room, and he's just like pushed right through it all, and still, for the most part, beat the dude's ass pretty well until Luther had to step in for a second, until they finally got the better of him. And then that whole resolution, I loved all of that. I even like the scene with Sam and Clark in this scene too, with he was like, you know, it goes back to this conversation that was had last episode with trust. You know, breaking that, it's a lot harder to mend it. So like, they are trying to be on the up and up. Like, Sam makes a valid, strong point. Like, there's not really any real reason, I think, to be upset about Sam about doing what he is doing with this project. His goal, his job is to protect humanity, and just like Batman with Babylon, you gotta have a contingency. Even for the best of heroes, what if on a whim one day they get mind controlled, or they just decide to go against everything they've stood for? You need a way to defend yourself. It's not that he doesn't trust Clark. It's just that he can't put the world's safety on the line for his own personal trust, his own personal relationship. And can't really fault him for that. The things you can fault him for are the way he treats the family, the way he he imposes his own beliefs onto Clark and how he's raising his kids. That's the stuff you could kind of really get into him for. But when it comes to protecting the world and the country, man, his heart's in the right spot. Jonathan and Jordan's scene in this episode was really strong, really good. I like that connection. Of course, Jonathan coming to Jordan, trying to find somebody to console him with, like to confide in about how he's feeling, about how their mom went off on him, and that Jordan finally was there for him. Like, he was like, I'm here for you, man. Like, I got you. And like, Jonathan just kind of being real with him, talking about how, you know, Jordan is like the only person he's got in this town, or at least the only person he feels like he's got in this town. He's only just started to build his own personal relationship with Sarah. But really, it's still just Jordan. And then I like how this whole experience has helped Jordan come out of his own shell in a way, fight his own anxiety to the point where, you know, Sarah's dad doesn't show up for this audition, and he pushes through to play her accompaniment with her so that she can perform. You know, again, she talked about her anxiety, which is something I can relate to, because I grew up, and throughout high school, I was in our show choir, and unless we absolutely were made to, I always dreaded doing solos. I had no problem initially, but when I first started getting into it, I did. Like, took a while to get over, but like blending into a group, blending into a bunch of different people where your voice just gets lost in it. You know, there's not like a spotlight directly on you. Always took the load off my shoulders when performing, whether it be singing or dancing or whatever we were doing, most of the time both. And it's just like, okay, well, they're looking at all of us, not just me. But a few times, man, it's a different feeling when you're the only one on stage, like 100%. And I get that. And I like that in a way she got to go up there with Jordan this time, him being like her backup, him being there and kind of being part of the journey, part of the performance. And in a way, even though it was her giving the solo, she wasn't alone up there. And I think that also kind of helped. I like that pairing. I like how they kind of played into that. It did seem kind of a little out of nowhere, just to give the Cushing something to do this episode. But I liked it. I liked it a lot, mostly because it touched home for me, and I can relate to all aspects of that. And then you have the stuff with Kyle. Obviously, you know, he's been wanting this. He's been campaigning for this. He's been the guy who brought Edge in and has been helping this whole situation grow, just to kind of, you know, have Lana get the spotlight with Edge at getting this position, and then being in charge of selecting people for this recruitment that he doesn't know anything about, but she does, at least not like the details, but she's in the know that what they're doing isn't for a good thing. So she's protecting him. But once he found out, thanks to Leslie Lar, who is just a lovable little bitch, just coming in and be like, it's unfortunate you turned that position. Morgan really wanted you. And then it puts him at odds with Lana, and then it made him lose the thing. Really made me feel bad for Kyle. I think they do a really good job at making Kyle really sympathetic. And I don't know this actor's name, and I feel bad for that. I should. But I think he did a really good job. He's done a really good job in this up until this point as well. But like the genuine joy, you know, when he finds out his daughter wants to sing again, and he can whip out the guitar and help her. Like, you just see him brighten up and get excited and endeared about this. And then at the same time, he gets this soul-crushing bad news that makes it seem like his wife doesn't believe in him. And then, of course, it causes him to spiral and do what he has done in the past, because we've seen him like go down this path before, with this kind of self-loathing in a way, you know, when the town wasn't doing great. You know, they were in this rut, and when Morgan Edge come in, we've seen the family kind of come out of this rut in various ways. He's been doing better. He's been happier. Even if he didn't get the job with Morgan Edge that he was hoping he was going to get, he was at least happier and like more involved with the family, which, you know, with or without Edge, you should still be doing. But obviously it helped him come out of this rut. And then this was the thing that like could get him right back into it. And I liked it, the little touch, because they didn't linger on it, but we know he's had a drinking problem before, and he probably got smashed the night before, and that's why he missed the recital, the audition. But I like that little touch though, and they don't mention it, but he's bagging up all of that alcohol. So he knows it's a problem, and he knows what he did, and he's trying to fix it, and it seems like he's just trying to get that out of the house. So again, that's another step of him owning his own mistake. He still made it. He's still got to live with the repercussions of that. Obviously, it's straining his relationship with his daughter, which he was just on the mend for. And, but he's taking the right steps, and I like that. Surprisingly, I like that character. And in any other show, that character could be just a sour note in every episode, written just awfully, like written to hate kind of thing, to be an annoyance, and they just don't do that here. The show is doing a fantastic job, and I'm really curious now to see this turn with Luther. He doesn't completely trust Clark, but after everything that they've gone through, everything that he's been faced with, everything that has come to light from Lois now, you know, this probably could have all been avoided if Clark had just let Lois come in there and talk to him. But maybe she wasn't ready, because she needed to go through her own like cycle of releasing that emotion that she had built up from reliving her miscarriage. Maybe it wouldn't have been the right time to do it then either. So who knows? It could have just backfired altogether if she had went in earlier than she needed to before she was ready. But she went in there, and she was able to guide the situation, make him kind of see that hasn't happened here yet, and you doing this is just the wrong way to try to prevent it, because at this point, this guy's an innocent man, and you're just going to be a murderer because of that, you know. And I like that whole shift, and he's reluctantly like not allied with him, but he's reluctantly giving up on this hunt for this world's Superman. And it almost makes me wish that, like, because they know so much about each other in their alternate worlds, that I wonder if it would even change his mind or help him understand where Lois is coming from if he knew Clark was Superman. If Clark was Kal, would that change? The fact that she's married in this world to Superman, how would that make him feel? Would it help him ease into it, help him trust her judgment on this Superman? I don't know. I was curious to see that maybe come out, but I don't think we're going to see that now. But I like that he erased the Luther profile. He's like, we're creating a new profile. I am going to be John Henry Irons, and he's going to go off and soul search for a while. We got a little bit of a glimpse of how he got there, but not really. We just really saw Superman trying to stop him as he's going off in that ship. We did see like the red in the distance, and I'm wondering if it was like a portal, a wormhole, or if it was indeed antimatter from Crisis that came into being. How did they make the jump is what I wanted to know. And I hope we do continue to get more flashbacks of this. And it makes me wonder, if is this I think this is the end of the Stranger arc, but it's definitely not going to be the last time we see him. Obviously, Morgan Edge is still going to be doing the things he's doing, and he's still going to be around to help when that day comes. So I hope we see him again then. And I would love it if he, during this time, builds a new suit and just got the hammer, and we see him as Steel, like suit, hammer, ready to go, just like in the comics, man. Maybe even give him the cape as well. I don't know. I'm really excited to see where it goes with this. We got, 7 episodes left. We know episode 12 is a big episode to look out for. If you don't know, I won't spoil what it is, but I'm looking forward to episode 12. But yeah, I am loving this show. This is peak DC TV right now to me. So guys, I want to know what you thought of this episode. Sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Before we go, I want to give a shout out to our channel legends, Mandy Sherritt, Ryan Karen, and Jason Coleman. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you everybody who's been joining the Patreon and showing your support to the channel, whether it be joining in over there, liking the videos, commenting, or just being here to watch. Join the Discord. We got a link down in the description for that. You can come hang out, chat. I try to be as responsive as possible between everything going on. No matter how you're showing your support, you have no idea how much I appreciate you guys. Thank you all so much for tuning into this week's episode, and I will catch you guys in the next episode of Superman and Lois. Take care, everybody.